Let's ride, Denver. Something dark is brewing in the shadows, a narrative powerful enough to crack the league's infrastructure. And wouldn't you know it? The Broncos are standing at ground zero. This goes way beyond a standard box score review. We are peeling back the layers on concealed trends, hard statistics, and a potential deep-seated grudge against Sean Payton that seems to have followed him from the bayou all the way to the mountains. You might think you've witnessed insanity this year, but brace yourself. Before we dive in, smash that like button if your loyalty runs deep in orange. And if you have stood by this squad through the trenches for 2 decades, I need to see you sound off below right now. Go Broncos, my veins run with the team colors. Let's ignite the comments section and prove our unity. All right, steel yourselves, because the truth I am dropping will absolutely enrage you. There is a glitch in the NFL matrix, and it feels like Sean Payton is walking around with a giant bullseye painted on him. In just the last 6 matchups, Denver has been hammered with a penalty yardage deficit of negative 44 yards on average. That is not just poor play, it is criminal. And it is not like we are facing off against military-grade disciplined units. We have battled chaotic rosters like the Jets and Giants, teams packed with greenhorns and notorious for sloppy execution. Yet somehow, they are escaping with halos over their heads while we get flagged. The math simply does not check out. Sunday against New York, we surrendered 127 penalty yards, a disaster we have only seen 4 times in 10 years. This season, 6 times already. Zoom out for a second. We are not just talking about cleaning up mistakes. We are talking about phantom calls that defy statistical logic. The number crunchers have run the simulations, and the likelihood of Payton's squads being targeted this heavily over the years is a staggering 0.007%. That is not an accident. That is a systematic takedown. Even Richard Sherman, who has never been a fan of Russell Wilson or Denver, openly blasted the Zebras for a phantom interference call on Riley Moss. Here is the kicker. The 2 officials, standing right on top of the play, kept their flags in their pockets. It was the guy in the nosebleeds with the worst view who threw it. It defies reason unless you view it through the lens of blatant prejudice. And after the final whistle, absolute bedlam. Riding the high of a buzzer-beater victory, an official physically shoved linebacker Justin Stronad. Dre Greenlaw once chased a ref down for words and got suspended without a paycheck. Let that sink in. A striped shirt initiates violence. A player uses his voice, and the athlete is the one who gets hammered. Oh, and that specific official? He was previously exiled for botching a Lions-Cowboys game, only to be brought back to wreak havoc again. This transcends incompetence. It is a full-blown circus, and all roads lead back to the bad blood between Payton and Roger Goodell. Rewind to Payton's final 4 years running the show in New Orleans. Opponents facing his crew were the least penalized in football, ranking 30th, 31st, and 32nd. That is unprecedented. Experts calculated the odds of that happening randomly at 1 in more than a million. The only rational verdict is that this is a targeted hit, likely fueled by the ghosts of the Bountygate saga. Sean Payton has practically screamed that the bias his locker room faces comes straight from the commissioner's office. I am not saying the script is fully written, but if your boss despises you, the workplace dynamic shifts drastically. These referees are officiating like they received marching orders from the ivory tower. It makes your blood boil. Officials should be ghosts on the field. Instead, we have muscle-bound showboats trying to steal the spotlight. No one tunes in for the officiating crew. We watch for the grind, the passion, for Denver football. But here is the wildest part. Despite the sabotage, the Denver Broncos are still stacking wins. 5 times this year, we have defeated both the enemy team and the referee squad. In the 4th quarter, when the lights are brightest, we own the field. We have outscored rivals 71-29 in the final frame. In the last 4 bouts alone, 61-13. That is not luck. That is lethal precision under fire. Plus, the road ahead is looking smooth. We hold a 1-game cushion, and our future opponents sit at a combined 11, 15, and 1. Stack that against the Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders, who are staring down a gauntlet of tough matchups. We have a golden opportunity to blow this race wide open and seize the AFC West throne. Now, let's talk firepower. Sean Payton is finally unleashing the beast within this offense. He has cracked the code on Bo Nix. Nix is not just quick. He is electric. He has clocked over 15 miles per hour on 17 dashes, and even shattered the 20 mark once. Blending that explosive velocity with surgical precision makes the sharpest passer in NCAA Chronicles absolutely deadly. Once everything hangs in the balance during the final frame, that is precisely when Nix truly awakens. Assuming this is merely chance implies we are witnessing a statistical anomaly unmatched in league annals, yet we intuitively sense otherwise. These sequences repeat with startling regularity while the infractions remain suspiciously unbalanced. When impartial voices like Richard Sherman and Benjamin Albright start flagging the bias, the issue becomes undeniable. Consider the Giants matchup as the perfect example. 127 yards lost, marking 6 consecutive weeks of severe officiating deficits. We have observed Zach Allen endure obvious holding violations repeatedly, with fists clutching his chest plate yet drawing 0 whistles. Nick Bonito suffers assault on virtually every blitz without penalty, while conversely, microscopic touches from our defenders trigger immediate fouls. Calling pass interference on Riley Moss went beyond poor judgment. It was humiliating, especially since the closest arbiters saw nothing illegal. A lone official positioned across the field with 0 visibility tossed the marker, which hardly qualifies as legitimate refereeing. That signals meddling from outside forces. And regarding the fallout, Dre Greenlaw was banned not for a tardy collision. He was penalized not for on-field aggression, but for speaking up after an official physically pushed Justin Strainad. Such actions are unprecedented, as the league rarely bans athletes for that, unless they happen to wear orange and blue. Recall also that the precise official who penalized him possesses a record of removal from primetime broadcasts due to colossal errors. Yet he has returned. Predictably, he is entangled in another disaster costing us dearly, suggesting this extends beyond Sean Payton into organized persecution. It compels one to question the machinations within league headquarters, though I hate to entertain thoughts of a fixed outcome. Nobody desires that. We all wish to trust in the sport's fundamental honesty. However, battling dual adversaries weekly, the rival squad and the zebra-striped crew makes dismissing it as misfortune impossible. Regardless, Sean Payton's guidance remains brilliant as he adjusts and identifies the roster members who flourish amidst the heat. He is mastering the deployment of Bo Nix's agility and judgment, revealing a quarterback who terminates opponents in the final 15 minutes. Possessing every trait desired in a team leader, he has exceeded 15 miles per hour frequently and even registered a dash over 20. Such explosive acceleration renders him a double-edged hazard that opposing coordinators must fear. When Payton fully exploits that attribute, our attack will threaten rivals in a manner unseen since the prime Manning era. Strategic tweaks are yielding returns as Payton places greater faith in Marvin Mims and targets like Evan Engram during critical junctures. Possessing a closer at head coach and a passer who excels late transforms the squad into a finishing terror for the entire conference. This explains precisely why Denver has been dominating the scoreboard when it counts, proving this unit is not merely enduring poor officiating, but triumphing despite it. For a glimmer of hope, consider this. The league may attempt to slant the gridiron, yet their efforts have failed. The Broncos are ascending, holding the advantage in the AFC West, with a remaining slate that is significantly easier than our competitors. Kansas City faces a brutal upcoming stretch, while Las Vegas and Los Angeles confront similarly difficult paths. Conversely, we enjoy a series of beatable foes, surging energy, and a unified team, guided by Sean Payton's veteran experience. He understands constructing a champion, and our fan base excels at uniting when facing global opposition. So let the yellow markers drop. Permit the association to hurl every erroneous judgment at us. Halting Denver requires more than whistles since we are engineered for the endgame. That final period is where legends are born. But currently, I desire your input. Can this squad surmount the systematic refereeing prejudice to mount a legitimate charge toward the postseason? Leave your opinions in the section below. If this ignites your passion, ensure you smash the follow icon, leave a thumbs up, and explore the additional content displayed now. Expect further analyses, match outlooks, and comprehensive studies arriving weekly. So let's ride and support the Broncos.